Home is where connections are made, memories are formed, and ideas are born. And no one knows home better than NFM. Thanks for tuning in to I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than trends and dives into what it means to make your house a home.
Hello and welcome back to I Am Home, the Home Life Best Life podcast. I'm Tyler Weiskup, and joining me today is my co-host, who I'm pretty sure could audible out of any awkward moment. It's Becca Sudbeck.
Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Becca. And rounding out our lineup of hosts, she brings the poise of a head coach and the instincts of a seasoned general manager. It's Hilary Waltemath.
Wow. Hey, Tyler.
Hi, Hilary. Today, I'm really excited. We're talking with someone whose story is much bigger than football. He's a quarterback. He's a girl dad. He's one of our NFM partners, Will Grier. So excited to have you on the podcast.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I'm excited.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm excited to kind of talk about like your story of like resilience, your family, your home life, and how quiet can sometimes speak louder than the spotlight. But first, let me tell you why we're even doing this podcast, and that's because NFM is more than just your everything home store. We're in the business of improving lifestyles because your home life should be your best life, and you can learn more at nfm.com. So, Will, again, I'm really excited to kind of jump in. We've admired your journey for a long time. From, you've got these major transitions we were talking about in the NCAA, your time playing college ball, to rebuilding your identity, to building a home life that feels intentional and grounded. But before we get into football, I need to address something that I think is pretty important. We saw that you host the G7 Legacy Golf Classic every year, raising money for your foundation. I think it's a great group, providing football equipment and faith-based mentorship to underserved youth. Sounds really amazing and noble, but I was just curious, is this secretly an extremely elaborate and socially acceptable way to schedule a giant golf day with all your friends?
Absolutely, that's part of it. Yeah, no, I'm I would say novice golfer. I love golf. I wish I was better at it than I am. I'm working on that. When we were talking about how do we raise funds to help the community and help people, that was my vote. I threw that in the hat pretty early, and that's what we went with. And it's been about since then. I'm excited for this year stuff as well.
Yeah, I think it's a super worthy cause and super fun to see how much fun you have taking it on year after year. How many years have you hosted that tournament?
So we've done it for 3 years now. Last year we brought on Gemma. She played volleyball at Notre Dame and is an absolute stud, and she kind of took it to the next level. So this is our second year with her, kind of doing it bigger than we did it the first year when we tried it ourselves. So It's been 3 years, but really this is our second.
Well, again, super cool. I think I always find it fascinating to talk to athletes and people of your stature, like, and what they're passionate about. And like it feels like such a good merge of what I can see in your personality, which one of the things that stood out to me is like these pivots that you've had from Florida to West Virginia, college to the NFL, being drafted, cut, bouncing between teams, and sticking in a league that like rarely guarantees anything. I'm curious from your perspective, what's like an underrated part of playing quarterback that you wish more people understood?
I think quarterback is one of those positions it's got to be the hardest position in sports. And I may be a little biased there, but I think football is such a team game. It takes all 11 people on offense, 11 on defense, 11 on special teams, the coaches, the support staff. I mean, an entire building has to be working together to have success on Sundays. The league is full of a bunch of teams that are evenly matched. The NFL is all about parity, and it's small margins of error. Those get highlighted at the quarterback position. But, if you have a great team around you and things are going well, they're going to praise you. They're going to say that, the quarterback's so great. And if the building isn't operating great, then they're going to blame you and say that it's
Yeah.
countless examples of that across the league. I've been a part of it myself in college, but even more so in the NFL. You have to have the mental fortitude of a warrior. Just mental toughness to be able to just be the same guy every day. And there's a lot of things that are out of your control, but controlling what you can control is the only way that you can go about doing your job and being the same guy every day. And that's what the great ones in this league do.
I imagine that gets like increasingly tough in the quarterback position with the internet in our hands all the time, and just so many hot takes on the internet and opinions. I imagine that just could get really, really noisy. Is it tough to kind of like mute or ignore that?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of guys will just ignore it completely, right? They're not on social media. They don't get on there. They don't look at it. They don't read it. If you were one of the guys that does, it's definitely tough to just completely ignore it. But I think you have to have the mental fortitude to know, whose opinion really matters. Be able to separate that, right? Like there's people that get paid a lot of money, and people, their living is about being critical and saying, things that are controversial in a lot of ways, right? And like you can't take it personally. I mean, that's their job. That's how they make a living. And I think if you're able to, make that distinction and be okay with hearing things that maybe you don't agree with, and what you can't do is let those things get to you and take them personally and let it affect your play or your mental game going into the season or going into the next week. You have to be able to either ignore it completely or be okay with hearing it and not let it affect you.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that's just incredibly, incredibly tough to I don't know, to keep balance with it.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot.
It's clear you are mentally tough. Like, is there anything you did specifically to build that skill? Or did it just develop over time? I mean, not everybody is like that. So I'm so curious about that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think it definitely, like anything else, like the more you're around it, the more, I guess, reps that you get at something, the better you get at it. I grew up in the social media age, like when I was 15 years old, I think was when I started downloading like Instagram and Twitter and these things. And a few years later, both my brothers blew up on social media. So I saw
they were like big Vine stars, like back when that was a thing.
Vine.
And so I saw firsthand like the fame and the comments. I mean, we were reading the comments. I think I was 17 or 18 when they were younger, but I was at that age when that was happening. And then I was kind of a big time recruit and going to Florida, so I had a little bit of that. I was seeing my name on Twitter, and so I mean, very early on was introduced to that, and I think over time you see a lot. You see a lot more negative than positive in general, I think, and it's the biggest thing for me was whose opinion really matters, and I think for me, that was identifying my circle of people, right? My family, my wife, my brothers, my close friends, my dad, my mom. That's whose opinions really matter to me. And then the team, right? Like, if my coaches, the GM of the team, like his opinion matters a lot more than not to call out a network guy, any of these network guys, right? Like they're not making decisions, right? The general manager,
right?
So general manager, like it doesn't really matter what Scott Van Pelt says about me, and I love Scott Van Pelt. That I think the key is just keeping the opinions that really matter, identifying those and sticking with those rather than listening to the outside of the circle.
Yeah. That reminds me of a story that I saw about you it was early West Virginia days. This visual picture that they're painting of you sitting alone in a bathtub after transferring, wiping social media clean, starting fresh after everything that happened at Florida. And I think this connects really well to that idea of like finding what mattered. Did you know at that point that those are the people that I needed to adhere to, or were you trying to still discover that?
I think I was trying to still discover that. I think like a lot of things during that time, I was figuring a lot of things out about myself and about, life and my career. At that time, I didn't know if it was something that was a reality. And so I was in a weird place, but those are kind of the places where you're forged as a person. And that's definitely where I was forged as a person. Learning about myself and who's really a part of my circle at that time. And those are the relationships that I still have today that are important for today.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Well, speaking of relationships, there's another image I love of I think from the same story of like you on the couch, you've got like a Disney movie pause, there's toys everywhere, your daughter's running around, and you're fading, I think, into the background a little bit in like the best way. How has becoming a husband and a dad like reshaped what home means to you compared to like earlier in your career?
Yeah, everything. It was, I think I felt lost in a lot of ways when, throughout college and really even in my childhood, my parents were divorced. We moved a lot. Both my parents moved a lot. So, I have, like, when I think of my childhood home, it's kind of a couple different homes.
Sure.
And then, even now, we move all the time, actually, my job.
Yeah.
Yes.
But home became this idea of, my family, right? Like, wherever we go is where home is. And there's a few things that we've kind of taken to every home. That have made it our own home in a way, but having when me and Jeannie got married, had Eloise, and then had Adeline, and I was able to, that was the best thing that ever happened to me, and that became my home. Was just being with my family, supporting them, loving those girls, and feeling that love. That changed me completely.
Makes total sense. Is there like a trick to when you are picking up and going to a new city and moving for you? Have you come across like routines or habits or objects that you brought into the home to make that space feel like your home faster?
Yeah, I'll say this. My wife is a champion, and she is the one that has made every home we've been in feel like home. The things that she is a very, she could be an interior designer at this point, as much as she's all these different homes. But there's things that we have from when we were back in West Virginia, when we were 4 college kids that have made it all the way to this point, and things we picked up along the way that we just can't, we can't get rid of. There's the couch that we bought when I was first drafted in Charlotte. It was like one of our first big purchases. And probably could have gotten rid of it a few times, but it just feels like one of those things that we bought together as one of our first purchases.
Yeah.
So there's things like that, but I credit Jeannie for her ability to make every home feel like home throughout the years of us moving. It's all been her. I mean, I like to say that I'll go here and do the job and you do the home, and that's kind of how we handle things. I'd say what makes it home to me is coming home to those 3 girls and seeing them happy and whatever they need. I'm a dad that buys them whatever they want. So that's
Yes,
they're hard to resist.
I'm a yes man.
They got you well trained, huh?
Oh yeah, that's the truth.
Good work, girls.
Well, you have recently like built this relationship with us at NFM, and I know that you're looking at moving into a new home. I don't know exactly what that timing was looking like, but how did that relationship start, and how has your experience been with working or shopping at NFM?
Yeah, so I mean, look, we are like experts at moving and buying furniture
At this point. Yeah.
So we love Dallas. I'm very happy to be here with the Cowboys. We bought a house here in Dallas, and the girls have a lot of friends here and are very happy here. And when we went through the process about a year ago of buying this house and making it home, and we have our things that we kind of bought everywhere, but we needed a lot more things. So Jeannie found NFM, and I actually had driven. I had known it because I've driven past on the highway, and I'm like, "What is this?"
Oh, sure, yeah.
Disney World looking place. And so, yeah, I mean, we, like I said, experts on this. NFM is by far the most amazing furniture store I've ever been into, and the customer service, like the way that we were taken care of there. I mean, I know that this is like an ad, but this is truly how I feel. This is not, I mean, honestly, the most incredible furniture buying experience I've ever been a part of. They have everything there that you can imagine for a home. You walk around with this like a sales rep. They're putting things on an iPad. They're there to serve you. I felt so taken care of, and I feel like I can literally have bought everything in my house there. I know I'm getting a great product. They ship it all, put it all in. I mean, the whole process felt amazing. I wouldn't buy furniture from anywhere else in the Dallas area than NFM. Just after that experience, I recommend it to everybody. And like I said, I know this is an ad, but I am being completely honest and truthful saying that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I think there's a lot that is known. We have like everything you could want, the craziest assortment. Like, we aren't going to be beat on price, but you brought up the point about people. And I think that's something that's like, I don't know, overlooked or maybe isn't as like well known, that it's just the most amazing people here that are passionate and care about truly helping people improve lifestyles. Like, I know I've got some bias too, but the having worked in all of our locations, the people are truly the best.
No, I have to give a shout out to Giovanni. Giovanni's who worked with us. Giovanni, if you're listening, thank you so much. It was, like I said, just blown away by the entire experience and the way that he was able to help us get everything we need, and the selection is truly incredible. I mean, it was my wife, like I said, we bought furniture everywhere. She had a blast walking around there, and like, you have this in this color, or this in this color, or can we do that? I mean, and Giovanni hung in there. He was awesome and helped through with everything.
I think we've heard that name quite a bit in some of these circumstances. It sounds like I need to go work with Giovanni as well.
Seriously.
Yeah. So we've talked a little bit about like quarterback being like this mentally demanding position, and talking about like going home at the end of the day. So when you walk into the front door after a long day of like meetings, film practice, whatever it is, what helps you shift out of like that quarterback mode into like husband and dad mode?
Yeah, I think the drive home, I always say I like having like a 15 to 25 minute commute. Any longer than that's too long, and any shorter than that, I just don't feel like I had enough time either to go to work or to come home from work. That's like the sweet spot for me to kind of decompress and kind of shift gears, like you're saying, and try to be present as a husband and a father. So that's when I kind of, as I'm driving, that's when I kind of make that transition, pull into the driveway, and when I walk in, I am, just trying to be the best husband and father that I can be. Leave all the stuff that happened to work at work.
Yeah, that's such a good point about the commute being that like
seriously, you got to have enough
sacred time to like get into your day and then unwind to to your day. I'm realizing I'm missing that sometime, I
Yeah.
think, when I work at home.
Yeah.
I also heard, Will, that like meditation and mindfulness has been super important to you as a part of that process. Is that like what you're doing in that 15-minute drive home? How does that work?
Yeah, no, I definitely, I mean, I'm big believer in mindfulness, breathing techniques, regulating your nervous system, right? There's definitely a lot of ways to do that. I mean, when I'm driving, I'm not closing my eyes and meditating.
It's Will on the tollway.
Yeah, but it's definitely a form of it, right? Like, not listening to music, just kind of driving in silence and breathing and just decompressing is a form of mindfulness. And sometimes if I'm feeling a little overstimulated or overwhelmed in any way, I just, turn the radio off and drive and just be very present. That's kind of the goal of mindfulness and meditation. Be in the present, be where your feet are. So that's the goal of all of that. And my goal throughout the day, whether it's closing my eyes and doing those breathing techniques or just driving and being present in that moment of driving, those are different forms of mindfulness. So that's how I would say I reset and use my practice mindfulness on a drive on the way home.
Was that something hard for you to do? It feels like, especially today, that like just we're bombarded with information and like you can, it feels like you don't want to be alone with your own thoughts sometimes. Was that something that was hard for you to access?
Yeah, no, I mean, and honestly started practicing mindfulness in college at West Virginia with a guy, former Army guy. He was awesome. But yeah, over time, the thing is just the practice and the reps of it. And really my biggest advice to anybody is to try to find that ability to get present as much as possible. It started for me with those teachings in college, and over time, with all the distractions, all the noise in today's world, the best thing you can do is just to be in the present. The past is to be past, it's done, and the future is something that you cannot control, and the present is something that exists. And so I try to be as present as possible with what's happening, being here right now, being with my kids, being at work, truly be there. And that's my advice to anybody, and it's something that I'm not a master at, but it's something I work on every day. It doesn't happen overnight, but the more you can be mindful about trying to get in the present, the better you will be at it over time.
Yeah.
Do you take some of that, like, is that mindfulness helpful on the field too? I can totally understand off the field, but is that helpful on the field?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
The being present part, the all the things that you can't control, like you can have a perfect play, but your left tackle misses the block and you get back. I mean, there's nothing that I could have done about that, right? Like I can't block them, but that's part of football. That's part of the game, and you have to be able to quickly move on from that and be present to run the next play. So that's definitely a skill. Coming off to the sideline, you have a good drive, you get down in the red zone, and your kicker misses a field goal. Well, he wasn't trying to miss it. Maybe it got blocked or went, whatever happened. But that's out of our control, right? All we can control is ourselves. So being able to move on and be present and get ready for the next drive, sitting on the sideline. I mean, those are the skills and that you have to develop as a quarterback, and they apply to life as well. But that's the great ones are able to stay present, control what they control, and that's what I've learned from the greats that I've been around.
Well, speaking of greats, I know that Super Bowl's coming up. We would be remiss to not ask a quarterback for his opinions. You haven't played in Super Bowl, but you do have a Super Bowl ring from your time with the Eagles and all the work that you did to help kind of prepare them. I wonder, like, knowing the role that you help play behind the scenes, preparing the quarterback, like, what did that Eagles moment when because I think they went out of their way a little bit to like ask you to like come to the ceremony and then award you that ring as a part of the work that you did to kind of like get the team prepared. Like, what did that moment mean to you?
Yeah, it meant a lot. It was really a tough decision for me and for the team. We made that decision together to leave Philadelphia and come back to Dallas kind of towards the end of the year. Knowing how much time I had spent, in Philadelphia helping them, helping Jalen, but helping the entire offense get ready to to go play, and we were playing well. I knew we had a shot to, potentially go win the Super Bowl. But at the same time, I had an opportunity to come back to Dallas, which we love Dallas so much as a family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very close with Dak, and was excited to be back with him and potentially help him try to go win the Super Bowl. And we felt like we couldn't pass up that opportunity. So it was really hard for us to leave,
Right.
but we're very happy to be in Dallas again. And I knew that I was going to potentially miss out on that opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. And I did, but when I got the call that they were, they wanted to give me a Super Bowl ring, they wanted me to come to the ceremony and be a part of it for the work that I put in. Up until the point I left, I thought it was a great showing of the dignity and respect of that organization. And,
Yeah.
Can't say enough about, Jeffrey Lurie, Howie, Nick Sirianni, all those guys for, thinking of me and allowing me to be a part of that, even though I feel like I, kind of left them high and dry there at the end. But it was an awesome experience. And like I said, it worked out because I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be back here in Dallas and hopefully help Dak go win the Super Bowl this year. Help us go win the Super Bowl.
Well, I sure hope so too.
Yeah.
No pressure, but I'm rooting for you.
Well, it sounded like it was well deserved for you, and it speaks to your character as well.
Yeah,
for them to do that, and sounds like well loved in the league, and that's something that again I think is super admirable. So many kudos to you. Do you? I think this will go after the Super Bowl, but can we ask if you have predictions, thoughts on what the game's going to shape up to be this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I want Drake May. He was a Charlotte native. Our families kind of grew up together, and he was always a baby. Me and my brothers and him and his brothers kind of grew up playing sports together. A lot of us were the same age, but he was always the youngest. He was the smallest. The baby was getting pushed around. I actually have a younger brother, Yuri. I think those end up being the best athletes. But I'm super proud of Drake and the way he's handled this and put himself and his team in a position to go compete for a Super Bowl trophy. And I'm pulling for Drake May 100%. However, I spent time also with Sam in Carolina for a few months, and I love Sam. I think he's a great player. I think the Seahawks are playing really good football right now. I think their defense is really good. I think the Patriots are a great team. I think Seattle is a really great team as well, which is what you want in a Super Bowl like this. I think it'll be low scoring, and I'm pulling for Drake May to lead a drive at the end of the game and kick a field goal to win it.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Thanks. Well, and I didn't know, gosh, it's so crazy. You have that
so
many connections into the game. So a lot of stakes.
Everywhere.
Yeah, there
a lot of stakes for you.
Everywhere. Truly everywhere.
Yeah. The league seems so big, but obviously it's smaller
Small
maybe
world,
than you think.
huh?
So
yeah.
Well, do you have time before we wrap? I've got a quick game that I'd love to play. It's called Game Day versus Dad Day.
Do it.
Okay, excellent. I'm glad. I have 7 scenarios. You got to tell us which one is more chaotic, the NFL Game Day or Dad Day. So my first scenario for you, pre-snap read versus preschool morning.
The preschool mornings, I'll say that you can't prepare. Like I can prepare for pre-snap. I've watched film all week. I've done this for my whole life. You can't prepare for what's going to happen before school.
Nope.
It's
Always a surprise.
Okay, so we got one for Dad Day. Fourth quarter pressure versus like hair braid pressure. Which one's more chaotic?
Fourth quarter pressure. I can braid hair with the best of them. I learned that.
Aww. You are a great girl, Dad.
Yeah.
Adorable.
I can't do the French braid, but I can do the regular braid. So.
That's so impressive.
That's super impressive.
Yeah, I don't have hair, so I can't braid. Next question. Locker room noise versus sibling debate noise. Which one's more chaotic?
We've had some intense sibling debates as they've gotten older.
Yeah. Over the locker room? Wow.
Yeah. It just, and man, girls are ruthless. They are just, we've had some really offense debates. We play Mario Kart a lot in my family, so
Oh yeah.
it's fun because four at a time.
Yeah.
That gets heated, but yeah, the debates. I lose a lot of the debates in our house.
No one can humble you like a sibling, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know
It's
where
true.
to cut.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
They get after each other, man. They do. It reminds me of me and my brothers, except they're just way smarter than we were.
Yeah, I feel like they like stick the knife in and turn it a little.
Yep. They just know what
Yep.
buttons to push.
Okay, well, just a few more of these. Film room focus versus homework help focus. Which one's more challenging, chaotic?
I would say the film room is more challenging and chaotic. The school stuff has been natural for me. And I'm lucky. My Eloise is very smart and competitive, so it's easy to kind of help her. And we actually did some stuff yesterday for math stuff and multiplication. And I put the timer on her and that stressed her out a little bit. She's really good at school, so it's not as chaotic.
Good. I love it. Okay. Away game travel versus recital day logistics. Which one's more chaotic?
I mean, they've made the travel easy. It's got to be the recital day logistics. Dance class in general. I mean, making sure that we're fed and we're there on time and we're there for pickup on what are we going to do for the hour while we're there, and then we got to make it back. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Don't have your favorite leotard, just this other leotard.
Right. That's dangerous.
Ballet
Yeah.
All right. Final two questions. Sideline adjustments versus weekend plan changes. Which one's more chaotic?
I got to go sideline adjustments. That's one of the toughest parts about the game is in-game adjustments. Everybody seeing it a certain way and being on the same page to make the correct adjustments. Weekend adjustments, they're tough, they're chaotic, but you can handle that. And you can always fall back on plans. I love canceling.
Canceling plans. Yes.
I'm with you.
Yeah, that is good advice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Final question. Well, again, thanks so much for this. Super fun. Post-game recovery versus dad day recovery. Which leaves you more wiped?
Ooh, they're both extremely, extremely important. I think the post-game recovery, there's just so much mental and physical recovery you got to do. And part of that can be doing some dad work, some dad and husband work to recovery. But there's a lot that goes into that: eating, hydrating, sleeping, some active recovery. Getting your body back takes a lot of time, and I'm gonna have to go with that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yep.
Total sense. Well, Will, thank you again so much. Really appreciate having this opportunity to talk with you, learn more about your journey on field, at home. And to everyone listening, remember you can learn more about NFM and shop 24/7 at nfm.com. Until next time, here's to making your home life your best life, one story at a time.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us today for I Am Home with Tyler Weisskopf, Hilary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. No one knows home quite like NFM. So if you'd like more information on home design at NFM, please check out nfm.com and leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.